having only 6 1-drops because if you don't get...
Alright, hi, this is Andrew. I'm here with Eric, our second place winner for OTS First Forceful Will Tournament. So Eric, what deck did you go in to play with today?
I played Reflect Green-Red.
Okay.
Focusing around Pricia, the Beast Queen in hiding.
Yeah.
She just seemed like no one was really doing anything with her, and the fact that she gets double buff seems kind of crazy. And I figured I could take people by surprise with it, which happened. People didn't really know what I was playing, and then all of a sudden I just kind of OTK'd them with her.
Okay.
I saw she was a human, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna put her in a human deck because I was really big on humans.
Yeah.
Tried that out, it didn't really work, but I noticed I could OTK people really quickly, so I switched to this deck, which is basically just all in on Pricia. I'm just get her out as quick as possible, protect her, and swing for huge damage.
Okay, cool. Why don't you show us the deck?
Cool. So we play Reflect. A lot of obvious reasons. She's just really strong at the moment. She gives consistency to the deck, and her +2/2 now becomes +4/4 on Pricia, which is nice. And we draw lots of cards with the orb. It's how we keep card advantage. So I'll start with the 1-drops. So I play 4 Priest. It's just really good in green right now with Reflect. I play the Feasting as well, so the turn 1.5 Feasting is insane. It just gives you lots of mana. Now this lets you get the deck going a little bit quicker. Play 2 more Gianna. Again, it's just really consistent. Lots of draw in the deck. So it just lets you draw all your combo pieces. You want a lot of one of this, one of that, one of this for the deck. So you're just using this to find all your pieces, which I'll show you in a little bit. I played 2 Ratataster. I'm not really sure how I feel about it after the tournament. The idea was I wanted a little bit more 1-drops, and I can play it. I can flash in Pricia before they know what I'm doing. So I flash it on their end of their turn when they're tapped out, and then I can untap all my stones and then super buff Pricia and just swing for game. It didn't seem to work that well, and I sided out almost every game. So that's probably the first thing I'm going to cut. 2 Gretel. I didn't want to play too many Gretel because I'm playing 1 little redstone, so it's a little bit risky. I didn't have a lot of room for her, but the extra mana is nice. She really helps out against some matchups, mainly control and games that are going to go a little bit longer. We then have the 4 Feasting. She's almost purely for the 1.5 turn with Priest. She's still good for slowing down aggro decks and stuff like that, but I don't always have too much mana open on my turn. She's okay, but I end up actually cycling her a lot if I can't use her immediately. I just have other cards in the deck I'm looking for. And then the main card in the deck is the Pricia. Her 2 effects that you get the counter and the make her any attribute, I never use, I don't need them. It's just a double buff, is insane. The 7/7 body is alright. She dies to flames, which is the one thing that kind of sucks, but there's not too many flames floating around. And if you time it right, you can still get her off. Play 1 Susanoo, just because he's just extra damage. He's really strong. When you get the turn 1.5 Feasting with Priest, you can sometimes bring him out as early as turn 3.
Oh, wow.
I also assumed that people were going to be playing Guibers, because there's a red-white aggro deck that's running around, and there's the Alice World that both play it, which I did run into an Alice World, and he dropped a Guiber, and I just Susanoo'd for game. I also play 4 Ames, so I figured why not play a Susanoo, because the combo is insane, and it's won me a few games. I played 1 Lancelot. It actually started as a joke. We were always kind of we're kind of aggro, why not play a Lancelot? And then I kind of thought about it, and it's not bad. I didn't want to play a lot, because I only have 4 redstones, because it's all green stones except for the 4 red and the little red. And I don't want it when I don't have the stones. I just get rid of it right away. I don't hold on to it. But every once in a while you draw it and you have your stones, you get a rewriting wall, and it becomes live. It's just extra damage, and I have the rapid growth, so you can just insta pump it to 10. It was nice. My friend was playing a similar deck, and he played more Lancelot. I think it worked out well for him, but I'm probably just gonna keep it at 1. There's just not a lot of room in the deck. Put it all back. So that's all the resonators.
Okay.
4 orb. We're playing Reflect. We're playing green, so we can draw with the orb, so they're just insane.
Sure.
4 rewriting laws. we're looking for deck consistency, so it kind of makes your deck 36 cards because it just replaces itself for free. It doesn't even cost mana. You play more Gianna, so it also lets you search with them if you combo them, and it lets you hit your Ames, your Susanoo, and your Lancelot just a little bit more consistently. And every once in a while, I think I actually did it twice, I pumped a little redstone on my Pricia. I used this to untap a little redstone and then pump her again, which is actually really nice. It's 800 damage. For rapid growth, just because rapid growth is insane in this deck. It's plus 8/8 for 1 on Pricia, and so if you have 2 mana, it's plus 16/16. Yeah, it's crazy damage. It's good with the Lancelot. I use it to buff my priest sometimes so they don't get thundered. Just all kinds of weird things. It's just a nice card that you can use twice, so you can almost 2 for 1 a lot of times. For Ame, this card is kind of like this is how we OTK. You throw this on a Pricia, and it gives her 8/8, so you're at 15/15 already. You rapid growth twice because you have it in hand, and you get another 16, so you go up to 31. You can
almost all the life.
Yeah, it's really insane. This plus this equals game most of the time.
Yeah.
So you get like one good swing in early, and you basically can just win with this card. It's a little weak to bow, but I was hoping I wouldn't run into too many bows, and I didn't. And I play BC attacks in the sideboard just in case, and I switch these out for BC attacks in that situation. I play the Susanoo, so like when you combo those off, it's insane. To Jewel of Truth, this is like even more OTK, I guess, because now you only need to hit 2,000, and then you just duel it with the Ame, and then you just Duel of Truth something and you kill them. So you Ame your Pricia, you reflect plus 4/4, and then you Duel of Truth something, and that's 39 damage, I think, or 38 damage. So you just need like one hit and you win the game. And so you swing early with like a Gretel or a Priest, and they generally let it through because they're not concerned about it. And you're like, all right, cool, I can OTK them now. You can also trade with this. Like it's versatile. And to drop, this card is like actually really good in this deck. It's how you beat the control decks. If you drop this on a Pricia and resolve it, you pretty much win any game, like in any matchup. It can be hard to resolve. It's like really dead mid to late game once they flip or reflect, so you just cycle it. But if you go turn 1 Priest into Feasting, so you go to turn 2, you get 2 stones, so you have 4 mana, so you can go Pricia and then drop on turn 2. And now next turn you go and you have 5 mana, and you can like Ame and then just go for game, and you know they can't interact with you because your Pricia can't be targeted anymore. So that's the main deck. So the stone deck, I already mentioned it, was 4 blasting waves, 1 little red, basically always call green just to bump the Pricia, but every once in a while I've called red just because I really needed it, and you can pump the Lancelot and the Susanoo, it's okay, and then 4 green stones. Probably going to end up switching 4 of them to 4 deep blue, and main deck and side deck some Harrows, until February, because that's how I lost in the finals, is he was playing orbs and I was playing orbs, and he had Harrows and I didn't, so he just eventually grinded me out. And then side deck, 4 Zeeks. Really wanted to fit 2 in the main deck. I just wasn't sure what I wanted to cut. I fiddled around with some cards and I had it 2 in the main for a while. But I figured game 1 I want to go all in and just kill them, especially when I have the surprise factor on my side. So by the time I get to top 8, everyone knows what I'm playing, so it's a little less surprise. But you win a lot of games because you just don't know what you're doing, and Zeeks doesn't help you with that. If I'm leaving mana open, I'm probably flashing a Pricia or a Feasting or something. I don't really want a Zeeks. But in some matchups, the Zeeks are just way too good. You just instantly go and get 4 Zeeks. Finals was playing Cthulhu with Lancelot and Narlathotep, the Zeeks were really key, and the fact I didn't have it in main is part of why my matchup wasn't great. But it's really good against a lot of matchups. You just take out the cards that are dead against that matchup and you put in the Zeeks. But you definitely don't need it in all decks. If you can just go all in and kill them, you do that and you leave the Zeeks out. 4 BC attack. So the deck relies very hard on the Ame Pricia to do the damage. The BC attack is for when they play a lot of Addition Hate, and especially when people start to side in Addition Hate. So you switch into BC attack, and all of a sudden their Addition Hate's dead. I thought about maining it instead of the Ame, and then I didn't have to rely on the red as much, but the extra mana was actually really key. It meant I couldn't kill them on turn 3 and 4 a lot. but it's still good. And there were some games where I would play these and the Ame, like against like Alice World and stuff, where I just know I want to kill them. So I just put these 4 in and take out like some of the slower cards and just go for game. I think I only sided in against Alice World this game. Even the one game where the guy was playing bows, I just decided to keep in the Ames and see how it went. Because I won game 1 and then I won the next game anyway, so it seemed to work out. Double sprint. Any deck that just seems to let you build up creatures, like sprint's really good. It's how I beat Valentina 2.0. I'm like slightly worried about that matchup, but it's not too bad. You can generally rush them down before they can do anything. And Pricia can kill Valentina, which is great. I did that to a guy today. He J-activated early, and then he swung into my Pricia and I double rapid growthed it. I killed his Valentina, and then he didn't have mana to flip the next turn because he had pitched the Excalibur to do it early. I had sprint in hand. I just sprinted my Pricia and my Elf and rapid growth for game and just swung in because he didn't have any defenders. So it's good against any deck that just lets you build up creatures, and especially against Valentina. This is actually what I put in against Valentina instead of barriers. I don't play barriers anywhere. I obviously also don't have any Blackstones. I just figured the Valentina matchup wasn't too bad, and it seemed to work out because I was able to beat the guy. 2 Cake Zones. I was playing 3 Exceeds, but I switched 2 of them to Cake Zones because I knew Alice World was a thing, and I figured it would be pretty popular. And this is how I beat Alice World. I had it in hand against the Alice World guy and never used it, but it was my safety net. If he had ever, I always left 2 mana open for this, because at any point Alice World just goes tap everything Alice World and you cancel it and you just win the game. Because the next turn you can probably OTK them. 1 Bowman. To be honest, I'm not quite sure why I played the Bowman. I just figured, like most green decks, you play the Bowman in case you run into a deck that you need to kill additions. So I put it in, and I didn't have anything at the time I really wanted. Never sided it in, never even considered it. Most definitely going to cut it unless something comes up that I think I really need it for. Second Susanoo, he's definitely really good in some matchups. Any matchup where you feel like you just need another threat or to push for more damage, and any deck that you know plays any kind of dragons. If someone tries to like side into Bahamut or you suspect it, you put in the second Susanoo, which happened to me. And again, any deck that plays Quibers, so the like at the Alice Worlds and the red-white aggro. Susanoo's just like really crazy sometimes. And the 1 Exceed, because yeah, I was playing 3 Exceed, because there was a me and my friend had helped build a 6 Age deck with Reflect that started getting really popular here, and we playtested the match a lot, and it's a fairly hard matchup, and most of the time I end up siding in 4 Zeeks, 3 Exceed, and try and like kind of out control them. But it didn't seem to work too well because like they're better control and we're trying to be like bad control. So I took out I'm probably gonna take out this copy too. I just like again it was a last minute change to the Absolute Cake Zones, and I didn't really consider changing this. I really should. It's probably gonna be this and Bowman taken out for 2 Heras and the 2 Rat in the main for 2 more Heras, just because Hera's just so insane. And yeah, that's the deck.
Alright, Eric, what decks did you think were your best matchup today?
Any deck that doesn't interact with my deck, I find I'm really good against. So like, Alice World is like a really easy matchup, I find. Red aggro is actually really easy because they spend their the only time they kill me is if they go like Cthulhu, like a bunch of Cthulhus and Lancelots in the first couple turns. Otherwise, like they're going face, and I go like, okay, sure, I'll like set up a Pricia on turn 2 because I got like a priest on turn 1, and then the next turn, all their creatures are tapped because they attack face, and I just out aggro them. So the red aggro seemed to be really easy. And even the Valentina 2.0 I felt pretty good against. Again, any deck that doesn't remove my creatures or interact with me felt really good, and any kind of control deck I was a little worried about, but control's not that popular right now, so I wasn't too worried.
What do you think was your worst matchup today?
I went 3-0-1 in Swiss, and in round 1, I sat against a guy and he flipped over Vlad, and I'm like, I think this is a bad matchup. I hadn't playtested it, but like it felt like it was gonna be a bad matchup, and it definitely was. He flipped the green stone, the feasting stone, that makes your guys untargetable, and it just like shut down my whole deck. Because anytime I try to pump my Pricia, he just stops it. So it was just really hard for me. I won game 1 because I super aggroed him, and I think I did the feasting on turn 1.5, and then I did the Pricia drop on turn 2, which is really good. But then the next 2 games I didn't get everything out right away, and he just dominated me. Game 2 took so long that he won in time, so we drew. But if we went to game 3, there's like no way I would have won. I would have lost that for sure. And Nick's deck, the guy who won first, his deck's just really good. He's got a lot of decent answers to me. Game 2, when I faced him and I went first, I basically OTK'd him on turn 3 because I got the Pricia drop on turn 2. So I can definitely beat it. But he plays Heras and he plays like a lot of just a lot of good value cards. So anything that can like outvalue you and not die feels like bad matchups, and any heavy control. I thought I would lose in top 4 against the 6 Age deck. I faced one of my friends who was playing it. But I somehow got there. I 2-0'd him, which I'm really surprised on. They were really close games, and I kind of like barely killed him right before he stabilized. But like any heavy control and yeah, like really heavy control decks are just really good. And like anyone that mains flames, like once they know what you're doing, they just like flames the Pricia right away, and it starts to become hard.
And where do you go to practice playing, test out your stuff?
401 games. I mean, I work at 401 games. It's like, so I also go there and play there all the time. Boss gave me the day off, so I came, wore the shirt, took the mat, try to represent 401. I think I did fairly well. But yeah, no, 401's like where I'm always at. That's where I got all my cards and play all my games.
All right, cool. Do you regret anything? Do you regret maybe not playing a certain card or anything at all today?
Definitely the Heras. Like I'll go through the deck some more. Like I love deck building. I spend like hours on my deck sometimes, like almost every night. But the Heras are definitely what I'm missing, I think. And the Rats just weren't nearly as good as I thought they were gonna be. So I'm gonna fit Heras in somewhere. Like I'll play blue just for Heras. I don't care. And I play rewriting laws, so like 4 blue stones and 4 green laws should be enough. Other than that, I feel like the deck's really strong. I didn't feel like I was like behind in most games. I felt like I had a good chance. And even against the controls, I think my deck can still get there.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much, Eric, for giving us this deck profile.
Yeah, no problem.
This is Andrew from Game Nation, and we'll see you next time.